In one of the latest reports from Bleacher Report, they have Nikola Vucevic listed and ranked as one of the NBA's most overrated players in the last 5 years. Very interesting, I may say. Y'all know we gonna talk about it, break it down. I got a couple jokes too, but you gotta hear the music first. Cognac, gang. Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down on today's daily episode. If you're tuned in with me today, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well. We appreciate all the support that Bulls Nation have been giving us for sure. But hey, I'm doing a little research. I come across a report from Bleacher Report that listed the NBA's most overrated players in the last 5 years. And who did I find on that list? Nikola Vucevic himself. And let's just keep it a buck. The guy that wrote this article wasn't too fond of Nikola Vucevic, and he kind of went in. We know how we feel about Nikola Vucevic. But the outside kind of seem like they are on the side of Chicago Bulls fans, and we are kind of sick and tired of Nikola Vucevic at this point in his career, and definitely with this point with his tenure with the Chicago Bulls. Now, the fella that wrote this article here that you can find on Bleacher Report, he had this to say about Nikola Vucevic. He said, under the hood, though, Vucevic has mostly been an empty calorie stat stuffer. Particularly with the Bulls, who never figured out how to replicate the smoke and mirror scheme Orlando used to coach solid defense out of lineups featuring the ground bound center. It's nice that his assist rate always hangs around the 90th percentile. He never turned the ball over, but he's essentially a high usage offensive piece who can't score efficiently because he never draws fouls, doesn't shoot enough threes, and converts his low rate of rim attempts at a middling clip. The 33-year-old steady diet of mid-range jumpers is offensive poison, and he's been a catastrophically negative force on defense in 3 of the last 5 years. End quote. My goodness. But I can't even lie to you. This young fella who wrote the article did an eloquent job describing all this stuff when it comes to Nikola Vucevic. And I would say Nikola Vucevic tenure with the Chicago Bulls, I think it's time to put that thing to an end. Y'all know C-Dub, he's jumping up and down right now after seeing that somebody else is on board with us in our dislike for not making changes to the front court, I shall say. And when we talk about Nikola Vucevic, a guy that came and started out with the Chicago Bulls, I believe, who was pretty damn decent with the Chicago Bulls starting off. And what we was getting originally is not what we've been getting now. I mean, you're seeing drop-offs with his three-point percentage, 34% in 2023. And then last season coming in at 29%. And then, you know what I'm saying, it was just abysmal. Even his field goal percentage from the field started off at 52% the previous year, and then last year it went down to 48%. And I understand that when people point out to the double doubles, they be that I can't be mad at it. You know what I'm saying? He getting his double doubles, he getting points, but he getting his rebounds as well. But as the fella that did the article put it, those have been empty calorie stats for a while now. When Zach LaVine went down after Nikola Vucevic was talking greasy leading up until this past season that we just played through, we said, hey, Zach LaVine is going down. DeMar DeRozan needs you to step up. Was there a point increase? Not really. That's all I'm saying. Not really. Especially, and it was kind of, I wouldn't say surprising, but it was like a head scratcher in a way. Simply just because Nikola Vucevic is like, I understand this could be our last time. This could quote unquote be our last dance. So I understood that. And then he said we got to come in and we got to play a different style. And all the times that Nikola Vucevic said that he wants more touches and things like that. And then you get an opportunity with one of your guys going down that was a part of the big three that you're a part of. Nothing. There was no elevation of his game. None. At least one that we find effective. And when we talk about the stats from last year, the true shooting percentage, Nikola Vucevic ranks in the 27th percentile. When we talk about on the defensive side, his rim defense ranks in the 46th percentile. So he's not the article is speaking, keeping it a buck with everybody at the end of the day. Now, what's interesting to know is, can we see Nikola Vucevic be traded anytime soon? I don't know. I mean, I think one good team out there that can use Nikola Vucevic services and, he could probably help them out in some sort of way or some sort of fashion is Golden State. I think Golden State would be a solid location for Nikola Vucevic. But I don't know what the Chicago Bulls are asking. I don't know if the Chicago Bulls even reached out. I don't know if Golden State has even reached out. And if you're the Chicago Bulls, you don't reach out first because then you don't have much leverage. But if you absolutely want to move them, you say, hey, you pick up the phone call and you say, hey, I got Nikola Vucevic. I'm looking at a player that you got. Can we make this work? We go here, here, here. We add these assets in it. We move on. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. I think this might be one of those ones to where you just got a decently paid center on your bench. I believe that Nikola Vucevic should be coming off the bench. I don't necessarily believe it's going to happen, but the reason I believe that Nikola Vucevic should be coming off the bench is because I believe he with these young guys, I'm not too sure he's going to be able to run the floor as well as we need him to, especially when you want to kind of pick up the pace with these young guys. I know that Nikola Vucevic passing ability will help the offense once they do get down there. I'm not gonna, deny that. But I just wanted to see Jalen Smith a little bit before I come and say, okay, Nikola Vucevic, bro, you know what I'm saying? You gotta start. That's what I'm saying. I want to see a real competition between the front court, between the center spot. Before I say, all right, Nikola Vucevic, you ain't got no choice but to start you. But as early on in what it looks like on paper, Nikola Vucevic, I believe, will be better suited and playing in spurts. That's just how I look at him. And then we talk about the trade. I don't know. I don't know because not only are we looking at Nikola Vucevic as a guy that you're like, I don't really know. A lot of teams are probably looking like they don't know either. And then I believe this guy's making about 18 million per year. So you really don't know if you want to pay him that. If you believe that he's a vet minimum type of player, I don't necessarily think he's that low of a player. I believe the deal right now it's okay. You know what I'm saying? When it initially happened, I was like, I think this is a fair deal. Hasn't shaken out to be a fair deal. You know what I'm saying? But with the cap going up and players getting all this money, it might not be so bad if we keeping it a buck. Now, are the Bulls stuck with Nikola Vucevic is another question I have. I would say you might be stuck, at least for right now. And you might have to take a couple on the chin. We know that last season that the Chicago Bulls had Andre Drummond ready, you know what I'm saying, receiving calls from the 76ers. They ready to give him multiple draft picks for Andre Drummond. The Bulls didn't budge. Will there be another team that comes out and say maybe, hey, it's that time we need a young center like that? Will a injury around the league happen? And will it take that long to get into trade deadline to say, all right, we got a fair deal right here, let's move him? You know what I'm saying? Or do you need to see what happens with Jalen Smith first? The Bulls got a lot of questions. And then how well do you trust Adama Sanogo trying to fill in if you do remove Nikola Vucevic and then you moving Jalen Smith up and then Adama got to slide in? Or do you go out and search for another guy? Or do you look for somebody in return when you do initiate the trade? It's a lot of ways they can go about this, but I believe this particular situation, as much as we want it to happen so fast, it's going to be another Zach LaVine. We got to sit this one out and wait a little bit. Just sit right there on the side, wait a little bit, and then, hey, we shall see. And one of the last questions I got to ask you all, and I would love for y'all to chime in on this, is how much of a hit has AK taken? You know what I'm saying? How much of a hit is AK going to get for the decline of Nikola Vucevic and re-signing him? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say the signing wasn't warranted. I'm not gonna say Nikola Vucevic didn't earn it. I think it was a thing that was kind of in the air at that time. You kind of, I would say, I would be fair and say you seen more good than bad at that particular moment. And then once he signed, it just got bad. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? So how much of a hit is AK gonna take on that? I believe he got to take it on the chin, for real. Jab in the mouth, hook on the chin. That's just what he got to take, because these were your decisions. And the way that he's kind of maneuvered and waited and had the patience, it's a good thing in certain situations to have that patience. But then at some point, bro, you can't keep your hands close to the chest. You got to start throwing them up and start boxing. And I believe those opportunities came calling, or they came knocking on the Chicago Bulls door, but it was just simply AK refused to move. We don't know who called in regards to Nikola Vucevic these past, you know what I'm saying, this past season or the season prior. We don't know. But we do know that you refused to trade Alex Caruso when you could have had better offers earlier on. You know what I'm saying? This past season, close to the trade deadline, you know teams were trying to push for him. You know where your team was at. You didn't do anything. You know that the Philadelphia 76ers were calling about Andre Drummond. We talked about that already. You didn't do anything. We know you didn't make a move when Lonzo Ball initially went down. We know a lot of we have examples of some things to where AK has to take this on the chin. That's just what it is. We can commend him a little bit with the Montes Buzelis draft. You know what I'm saying? But that was somebody that slid down to him. Like, I mean, he could have avoided him, but he selected him, and I think it was a good selection. We talking about, you know, the younger guys who has this opportunity now, and they look like some really good players. We don't know if they're just going to be role players for the rest of their career, or can some of these guys elevate? Who knows? Now that we're going to see a different responsibility be given out to these young players like a Kobe White, like a Ayo Dosunmu, Patrick Williams. Hopefully he gets over the passiveness. But you got some type of good stuff, you know, brewing around there. And it's just that you the GM, bruh. You, Mark Eversley, the GM, you the president. You got to make stuff happen, brother. You got to make stuff happen. That's just what it really comes down to. So that's it for me today, though, ladies and gentlemen. That is it for me today. How y'all feeling about Nikola Vucevic being one of the NBA's most overrated players? I mean, how can you be mad? How can you be mad when Nikola Vucevic ain't really done much for the squad that we love? And we go out there and we watch him on defense and see him not move his feet, not show effort, but talk greasy, get the ball in the post, drip back down 2 times, pass out of the back down. Doesn't draw many fouls. It was all there. It's been all clear. So let me know how y'all feeling down below. But that is it for me today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode. Make sure you go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Let's chop it up on Chicago Bulls. And then if you want to be a part of our mailbag episode that take place on the weekends, call in, state your name, leave your take. 773-242-9219. Thank y'all so much, Bulls Nation. Always see red. And y'all already know I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Cognac. Gang.